Most people think strength comes from reps, sweat, and pushing limits. But what if the real secret behind the world's strongest, most mobile bodies was learning how to stop? No gym, no gear, just gravity, breath, and your own body weight. That's the essence of the resting squat, an ancient human posture we were born doing, and then slowly forgot. Think about it. When you were a kid, you squatted effortlessly. No pain, no stiffness, no warm-up, but now your hips feel tight, your knees crack, your ankles barely move, and sitting for too long wrecks your posture. It's not age, it's disuse. And this one movement might be the reset button your body's been begging for. In villages across Asia, Africa, and even Eastern Europe, people still rest, eat, and socialize in a deep squat. No fancy chairs, no back pain. Their joints stay open. Their digestion flows. Their posture, effortless. Meanwhile, most adults in the West can't hold this position for more than 20 seconds without discomfort. That's not a coincidence. It's a cultural blind spot. And worse, it's silently costing you mobility, stability, proprioception, even your gut health. This isn't about just stretching more. It's about reclaiming a primal pattern your body already knows, unlocking the deep mechanics of how your hips, knees, ankles, and spine are meant to work together. All through one deceptively simple posture. And here's the twist. The longer you avoid it, the harder it gets to return. But just a few minutes a day can literally start reversing years of compensation, tightness, and tension. You don't need to suffer in the gym to feel better. You need to squat smarter. Before we dive into the how and why, do me and your body a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. You'll help more people rediscover this powerful practice. And trust me, this is the kind of thing you'll wish you learned years ago. 1. The root: anatomy and biomechanics. The magic of the resting squat starts at the base, literally. As you drop into position, your ankles go into deep dorsiflexion. Your shins move forward, your heels press into the ground, and the soleus muscle begins to lengthen. This area often gets tight from years of walking with cushioned heels and spending hours sitting at desks. But just by staying in the squat, without force or active stretching, you start restoring mobility that most people don't even realize they've lost. As you sink deeper, your knees flex far past 90 degrees, closer to 120 or more. In this position, both the quads and hamstrings engage subtly to stabilize the kneecap. What's powerful here is the balance. Instead of pressure accumulating on one side of the joint, the forces distribute evenly across the medial and lateral compartments. It's like your knees are getting a silent reset, realigning without any conscious effort. Then the hips start to open. Your femurs rotate outward and drift slightly apart, triggering a passive stretch through the glutes, adductors, piriformis, and deeper hip rotators. These are the muscles that lock up after years of chair living. And here they begin to release without you having to think about it. No bands, no warm-ups, just your body returning to a position it was designed to hold. What's really beautiful is how the whole lower body connects in this posture. The force travels from the ground up, feet to ankles, ankles to knees, knees to hips, each joint supporting the next. You're not isolating muscles. You're training your system to work as one fluid, integrated unit. And that's just the beginning, because the real reset happens in your spine. 2. Structural alignment and posture. Reset, one of the most overlooked effects of the resting squat, is what it does to your spine. When you're standing or sitting, your spinal muscles, especially the erector spinae and psoas, are constantly working to hold your posture. Even if you're not aware of it, there's always low-level tension keeping you upright. But in a full resting squat, something different happens. The load shifts away from those active muscles and sinks into the structure itself. Your ligaments, joint capsules, and bone alignment take over. It's a rare moment where your spine can actually decompress without lying down. And then there's the pelvis. Most people today walk around with a subtle or even pronounced anterior pelvic tilt. It's the result of long hours sitting, tight hip flexors, and weak glutes. That forward tilt pulls on the lower back and creates compression in the lumbar spine. But when you drop into a resting squat, gravity gently encourages the pelvis to rotate backward into a more neutral or even posterior tilt. You're not forcing it, you're allowing it. And that small shift can dramatically reset how your spine stacks above your hips. This natural repositioning isn't just about pain relief, it's about efficiency. When your pelvis and spine are aligned, every movement above and below becomes smoother. Walking, lifting, breathing. It all flows better when your base is in balance. Most people chase posture fixes with fancy chairs, back braces, or targeted stretches. But the body doesn't just want external support, it wants recalibration. And that's exactly what this position offers. It's like hitting a physical reset button on your daily postural habits. And believe it or not, we're still not done. Because this position doesn't just fix alignment, it upgrades the way you move. 3. Mobility and movement quality improvements. Holding a resting squat might seem passive, but under the surface, your body is adapting in real time. One of the key mechanisms at play is something called viscoelastic creep. It's a fancy term, but the idea is simple. When tissues like fascia and connective structures are held under mild, sustained tension, they slowly begin to lengthen. No bouncing, no force, just time and breath. So even if you're not actively stretching, your nervous system is gradually granting you more range of motion. And here's the thing. This isn't about flexibility in the way most people think of it. This is about functional mobility. You're not just getting looser, you're learning how to move with control at deeper ranges. That control builds over time, and it's exactly what prevents injuries when life gets unpredictable. Imagine dropping to pick something off the floor, twisting, stepping sideways. Your joints know how to handle it because you've trained them, subtly, through this daily pattern. The squat also refines your proprioception, your body's sense of position in space. As you maintain the hold, even for a minute, your feet start making micro-adjustments. Your weight shifts. Your hips pulse slightly. You begin to feel the floor differently. That awareness doesn't stay in the squat. It follows you into every movement you make. How you walk, how you stand, even how you breathe. Most people try to improve mobility with long, static stretches or complicated drills. But the resting squat simplifies it. It gives your body permission to explore its own range, on its terms. There's no force, just feedback. And as powerful as that is, it's only half the picture. Because this posture doesn't just change how you move, it affects how your body functions on a systemic level. 4. Systemic physiological gains. What most people don't realize is that the resting squat isn't just a joint exercise, it's a full-body systems upgrade. One of the most immediate changes happens in your circulation. When you're deep in the squat, the muscles of your legs, especially the calves, quads, and glutes, are slightly engaged, even without movement. That light engagement helps pump venous blood back toward the heart, enhancing circulation and reducing stagnation, especially after long periods of sitting or standing. And then there's digestion. This might sound strange at first, but the position of the squat naturally compresses and massages your abdominal organs. Your intestines aren't just hanging out. They're being gently pressed and stimulated. That pressure helps support peristalsis, the wave-like muscle contractions that move food through your gut. It can even help release trapped gas and relieve bloating. In many traditional cultures, this posture is naturally associated with both eating and elimination, for good reason. But it goes even deeper. When you're squatting and breathing slowly, your diaphragm starts to engage more fully. That downward movement of the diaphragm not only aids in breath control, but also contributes to internal pressure changes that support organ function and spinal decompression. It's a rhythm. Inhale, expand, decompress. Exhale, settle, reset. This is the kind of stuff no one tells you. Everyone's chasing supplements and hacks for better digestion and circulation, when a few minutes a day in this position could unlock more benefits than most pills ever will. And if you're wondering how to start integrating this into your routine without feeling awkward or overwhelmed, the next part will make it crystal clear. 5. Practical progressions and coaching cues. Let's be real, not everyone can drop into a full resting squat on day 1, and that's perfectly fine. This isn't about forcing your body into a position it's not ready for. It's about building toward it with smart, intentional steps. The key is progression over perfection. If your ankles feel stiff or your heels lift off the ground, start with a wall squat. Stand about a foot away from a wall, feet shoulder-width apart, and slowly lower yourself while using the wall as a guide. This helps develop dorsiflexion safely and teaches your body the mechanics of staying balanced as you descend. From there, work into half-squat holds. Stop around 90 degrees at the knees, making sure your feet stay flat and your spine neutral. Even in this modified range, you're already reaping benefits in posture, proprioception, and motor control. Over time, you'll find yourself naturally sinking deeper, with less tension and more awareness. When you're ready, ease into the full resting squat. Let your toes turn out slightly, settle your weight into your heels, and exhale. The goal isn't to stay stiff, it's to melt into the position. Let your spine decompress. Let your breath slow down. This is where the nervous system begins to trust the depth. You can even play around with it. Rock side to side gently. Shift your weight from foot to foot. Explore where tension hides. These micro-movements awaken dormant stabilizers and make the position dynamic, alive. Of course, common issues come up. If your toes lift, your calves might be tight. Try elevating your heels slightly. If your lower back rounds, shift your hips back and reconnect with your breath. If you feel knee discomfort, widen your stance and engage your glutes more. The squat will show you where the restrictions are. You just have to listen. And once your body gets the message, the next step is simple. Make this a habit, because the real transformation comes with consistency. 6. Integration into daily routine. You don't need to carve out 30 minutes a day to feel the benefits of the resting squat. In fact, just 3 to 5 minutes spread throughout your day is enough to create real, noticeable change. And once you start slipping it into your routine, it becomes second nature. Start simple. Do 30 to 60 seconds right after you wake up. Your tissues are cold, your joints are stiff, and that's exactly why it works. That gentle pressure helps wake up your fascia, decompress your spine, and reconnect your brain to your body, all before your first coffee. Later in the day, use it as a transition tool. Between Zoom meetings, before heading out the door, or right after work, drop into a squat, breathe, and reset. It's like a neurological palate cleanser. Your nervous system shifts from go, go, go to grounded and aware. It also works beautifully as a warm-up before training. Holding the position tunes your neuromuscular system, improves range of motion, and gets your joints ready for load, without wasting energy on unnecessary stretches. Think of it as your body's ready signal. The real key is repetition, not duration. Multiple short holds beat one long one. Do it in your socks, barefoot, or even in your jeans. The more natural you make it, the faster your body adapts. And here's the truth. Once you feel what this posture does for your spine, hips, digestion, and mind, you won't want to go a day without it. But to fully appreciate the power of this ancient practice, it helps to see it in context. Because this isn't some new fitness trend, it's how most of the world has moved for generations. 7. Broader context and comparisons. The resting squat isn't a fitness hack. It's a global norm. In many parts of the world, people don't use chairs. They squat to eat, to wait, to cook, to rest. From rural villages in Southeast Asia to markets in Africa and backyards in Eastern Europe, you'll see people of all ages dropping into a deep squat, like it's second nature. And it shows. These populations tend to have fewer joint issues, better ankle mobility, and more resilient knees well into old age. Children squat to play. Adults squat to work. Elders squat to relax. It's not a workout, it's a way of life. And it's one we've forgotten in the West, where chairs dominate our days and tight hips dominate our pain patterns. But cultural habits aren't the only proof. The science is catching up too. Studies have shown that 4 weeks of daily deep squat holds can improve ankle dorsiflexion by up to 30%. That's a huge leap for something so simple. Other research using MRI and imaging has found that spinal discs rehydrate better when squat positions are used throughout the day, especially as breaks between sitting. It's wild to think that what many consider primitive is actually deeply intelligent. It's not about going back in time, it's about reclaiming what our bodies never stopped needing. And when you pair ancestral wisdom with modern awareness, the results are undeniable. And just when you think we've covered it all, there's still one more layer that brings this practice full circle. Something subtle, something internal. Let's go one level deeper. The resting squat isn't just a position, it's a portal, a way back into your body. A daily reset button that rewires how you move, how you breathe, and even how you feel. It doesn't take weights, it doesn't need equipment, just gravity, time, and a little patience. It's the kind of practice that meets you where you are. Whether you're stiff from sitting or sore from training, the squat doesn't judge. It invites, it opens, it teaches. Every second you spend there is a conversation between your joints, your breath, and your nervous system. And over time, that conversation becomes a new language of movement, fluid, grounded, and pain-free. The question isn't if this can help you, it's whether you'll actually give it a chance. Because 5 minutes a day might sound too simple. But so is brushing your teeth. And skipping that leads to decay. Your joints deserve the same care. So here's the challenge. For the next 7 days, drop into a squat. Morning, noon, and night. Just 1 minute. No pressure. No expectations. And feel the shift. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. If this video opened your eyes, helped you feel something new, or gave you a tool you can actually use, leave a comment and tell me what you felt. I want to hear how your body responds. And if you haven't already, take that one small step. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. It takes 2 seconds, and it helps more people rediscover what their body's been missing all along.